Michelle in the news. Michelle in the news. Michelle in the news. Michelle in the news. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of We Watch Shudder. It's Michelle in the news. Take two. My name is JD. Who's here with me?
It's Michelle. This is take two, so I'm not going to go into my whole thing about how I was supposed to be on the news because I helped a bunch of dogs. You're just going to have to know I'm a good person, and you're not going to know why.
Yeah, it's called Michelle in the news.
Of content.
Just deal with it. It's not about just Michelle being in the news. It's Michelle telling you the news. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. If this is your first time checking out the show, thank you. Most of our episodes, we talk about an individual movie at length, but we do some special ones. We have our monthly Michelle in Review, where we talk about all sorts of stuff that we watched that we didn't talk about on the regular episodes of the show. And then we also have this one. This is a new one, spun off from Michelle in Review. Only the second time we've ever done it, and people already loving it. This is Michelle in the news. All we're going to talk about today is things happening in horror movie news, horror video game news, horror anything news, because Michelle is a voracious consumer of not just horror, just everything. She's a media, just like a
Love
media.
snacks.
I didn't know. I was trying to deliberately not make it sound like a food gluttony thing, but
no, it is a gluttony.
anyway, she is a voracious consumer of all things. And in order to feel better about how much time all of this stuff occupies in her life, we put together these special episodes to validate Michelle's rampaging consumption. And also to learn a lot of shit, frankly. No, no, but then legitimately.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it feels like it has a purpose then, as opposed to a thing that I just devote a lot of time to and don't share with anybody else. So it's at least a little bit better for that reason. Uh-oh. Can you hear me, JD?
I can, but you cut out just briefly, so I'm hoping it just kept on rolling and everything's fine.
I mean, my part ended, and then I asked if you could hear me, so we could cut 10 seconds and resume.
Beautiful. Yeah, let's just keep right on going. Or maybe we'll leave it in because it'll be funny. Who knows?
That's what we do all the time, and nobody likes it but us.
Well, nobody's ever
Which is
specifically
exactly
said
what
they
this show
don't
is.
like it.
Well, not to you.
We've never received any direct... Look, if you're not willing to actually give your negative feedback, then I don't give a shit about your negative opinion. Frankly, I don't give a shit about your negative opinion, even if you do want to tell it to me. But
I do, but I don't want to hear it because I'm very sensitive.
We don't care if the deliverables pass QC here at We Watch Shudder. Bold of you to assume there is a QC department in the first place. We're never going to let that one go. You found your new
fixation. I know. I was going to say we can add that to the We Watch Shudder drinking game, where every time you mention that comment in particular, take a shot.
Take a shot.
You'll be wasted.
Try not to die.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about, and I was going to say, legitimately, I do really enjoy it because then I actually get to keep up on what's going on without doing any of the legwork myself. Because Michelle is really good at filtering the news for what the key stuff is that we're going to want to talk about. This dog, if he flips out on me and makes this episode even more difficult than it's been already. Do you guys have dogs? We talk about him all the time. He's a wonderful boy, but goddamn, he's a nuisance sometimes. He's a menace, Michelle. How are you doing, by the way, in your New Year's resolution to just be a complete menace in 2026?
Oh, it's working out real well. We went slightly viral because nobody read my post correctly. So I think that does count towards the New Year's resolution of just being like, all these people are real mad at me about a thing that we agree on. So I think that was actually a very good stepping stone on my Be a Menace. And then I dared to take 6 days off from life because I got COVID. And that definitely destroyed a lot of schedules related to work. and my social life and keeping up on this podcast. So I think so far, like, that one was more of a menace to myself, but I do still think it counts towards the goal.
Well,
so
look,
I feel
you didn't
like
specify in the resolution, so.
Yeah, no, like I'm being a menace, but I didn't realize that would be towards myself, but I am happy. I need to step up my game a little bit. Maybe I'm going to Minneapolis next weekend. Maybe I'll get creative with the things that I can do down there.
Ooh, watch out for ice.
Current events. That's exactly who I would be a menace to. But anyway, yes,
Let's talk about the news.
I am excited. Yeah. One thing I've realized with this only being the second episode is that instead of just sending you a bunch of links all the time, or just like quickly summing things up on my quick Michelle in review stuff, I've realized that I need to keep in mind that not everybody knows the big news that I do. So I need to, like, while I'm going through all my articles and all my screenshots and stuff, I need to make a note to, like, talk about the big things that people might have missed. Yes, JD.
No, I was just forgetting that nobody can see this, and was just volunteering that, yes, I need somebody to tell me the big stories.
Yes, so I'm gonna do better about putting in the big things too, because some people said, like, I had no idea that thing, and I was like, how did you not know? But that's because they are not me. So we're gonna do this in 3 sections. First one, this month's releases, and by that I mean next month's releases. I haven't updated the verbiage since I did it for Michelle in review, but that is stuff in the next month that I'm excited about, the things that are highest up on my list. So March, if you're paying attention, this is February. That's gonna be it for March. That's how time works. Supposedly, allegedly. Then we're going to do movie news, which is the bulk of it. Technically, video game news should probably go first, but video game news some months is going to be my favorite stuff. So that's going to be at the end. I don't have a ton this month, but I'm excited to be able to talk about video games. I love horror video games. I got real spooked today by a horror video game, and then I turned it off because I'm just too jumpy. So yeah, should we start with this month's releases, JD?
Michelle, I feel like we should start wherever you want to start. All I got today is reactions. I got reactions, and I got the box office numbers for Iron Lung when we talk about that.
Perfect. Okay, so upcoming releases in March. There are 4 things that are highest up on my list of things I want to see. First, March 6th, we have The Bride with an exclamation point at the end. So emphasis, The Bride. This is a new film from writer-director Maggie Gyllenhaal, who you might know from a lot of stuff, including being the oldest sister of Jake Gyllenhaal and doing Batman stuff. So she made a movie about the Bride of Frankenstein, starring Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, which does make me realize that there's 2 big Batman people in this movie, and if there's not a Batman tie-in to the Bride of Frankenstein movie, I'm going to be real sad. Christian Bale and Maggie Gyllenhaal. I see your face looking confused, JD. Those are 2 Batman people. Yeah, Maggie's not starring in, but she did put her brother, and I'm really happy that she's thrown a bone to lesser-known Jake Gyllenhaal, who has definitely not done gigantic movies. That's real nice of her as a sibling.
Absolutely. No, I just for a minute assumed you meant the 2 actors, and so I don't even remember the other name already, and I was like, how was that person associated with Batman?
No, Jessie Buckley is the actress who always does weird movies. That was the star of Men, and I feel like that tells you enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, and I'm thinking of Ending Things. Great movie until the last bit of it. I was so into that film. Anyway, things I was into in the past will be in Michelle in review. We got to keep that locked down. We got to keep those in their own lanes. Next, March 13th. This is probably one of the biggest movies I've heard from a lot of people that they're stoked about, mostly because the trailer is fantastic. I did my best to avoid it, and then they started playing it before movies, so I had no choice. Undertone, original title, The Undertone, comes out March 13th. This is a podcast host who has weird recordings sent her way. It's a paranormal thing. It's going to be very ASMR, but scary. The trailer looks fantastic. We've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, and I think it's just generally just knowledge that sound design will make or break a horror movie. So
yes.
if there's a horror movie that is just about sound design, cool. Like, I think a good horror movie could have absolutely no visuals. Oh, wait, we did that. The Outwaters, and nobody liked it. I liked it, but I'm the exception there. So
just a quick aside about it. I still have only seen it the one time, and I feel like maybe I could benefit from going back and watching it again now that I have some more feeling like I have a kind of a grasp on what might have been going on, but I didn't hate it.
I don't know if you didn't hate it. You definitely did not like it and were very vocal about it.
I was way more disapproving of Skinamarink.
Yeah, that's like the one that, if we're talking about a movie that disappointed everybody, we have to mention Skinamarink. Until the end of time. Yeah.
That's another one we put on the drinking game. It's just going to keep coming up. We did 2.5 episodes about that movie, for God's sakes.
And it still keeps coming up. Next one, we have the American release of A Useful Ghost. This is coming to theaters, I believe, March 17th. I have been really looking forward to this one. I wish I had written down what country it was actually in, because IMDb does not tell me. But this is a movie where I'm just going to give you the IMDb tagline. A spirit possesses a vacuum cleaner, causing many consequences. That sounds great. It's called A Useful Ghost. It is a ghost in a vacuum cleaner. Also, I know I'm going to say this name wrong, but the writer-director has one of the greatest names of all time. I'm going to do my best, but you should just go on IMDb and look at how this is spelled. But it's Ratchapoom, first name, Boon Bunchachok. Something along those lines. It's a great name. I do need to see what syllables did I add or remove that should go in there. But that is just a great name. And I'm looking forward to that movie. When I saw the name, really sold me more than just telling me it's a vacuum cleaner movie. Yes, JD.
You also need to update the spreadsheet on the website, because that movie's not on here.
It's not on there? Isn't it under P Chai Dai Ka?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I definitely... Oh, I think when I imported my spreadsheet... You guys, I had COVID for 6 days, so I set up an API to tell me the difference between my spreadsheet and IMDb. And I had 80 discrepancies yesterday, and I wonder if... I think that was on the list. So I'm freaking out, and I'm going to fix that. I'm making a note.
Here's another one for the drinking game. Man, this is great podcasting.
I think them knowing that I got COVID and was incapacitated, so I spent a night learning how to do Power Query because I'm trying to learn how to do it for my actual job, and thought this will be a great way to practice. And I only had to pay for some things to get access to what I needed, so I said fuck it. And I got some subscriptions. And now I can have that done automatically. Again, then this feels like it has a point, as opposed to being a weird obsession that nobody benefits from, including myself. Who benefits from this? I have debated some days just deleting all of it and seeing what my life would be like. But I think that I would have so much anxiety. Yeah, that I would immediately... Yeah, this podcast encourages me to get a little bit crazier, and fuck it, people like that. Last, speaking of crazier, actually has nothing to do with this movie. March 20th, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. It's a-coming. Here it comes. It's Ready or Not 2, so guess what? In case you didn't know, it's a sequel, you guys. That's what the 2 means. Not always, but mostly. Ready or Not was a great film starring Samara Weaving, who she gets married, and then she goes to her husband's mansion, and they're like, okay, as tradition, my entire family is going to try to hunt and kill you now. And then she has to survive
Spoilers!
But... that's what the movie is. That's the most basic thing.
You don't find that part out until like 20 minutes into the movie, Michelle.
They make it very apparent in the sequel and the trailer, which they spoil the ending of in the trailer. I feel very confident without seeing this that they have ruined it.
Yeah, but what if they haven't seen the trailer, Michelle?
Okay, then they don't care about this movie at all. If they haven't seen the trailer,
coming from the person
they don't
who
know
just said that she tries to avoid trailers.
Yeah, but I know about the movie. That's the difference.
Are you saying that means you hate the movies because you won't watch their trailers?
No, it's because I'm already aware of the movie. I don't need to see the trailer.
So you just don't give a shit if anybody else is already aware.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck them.
I'm just jerking your chain. I'm stoked on Ready or Not too. I've only seen Ready or Not one time, but I remember just having a blast with it. It's one of those that's in the back of my mind as like if I'm ever just in the mood for something just good fun that I've already seen, so I don't necessarily have to pay really close attention to. That one's in there somewhere. It will be coming back around again, and I'm very excited for Ready or Not 2.
I will absolutely be rewatching it before seeing the sequel because movie is a masterpiece. And just
great.
Like you, I've only seen it the one time. And I think it's because it's so good that I'm like, I don't need to see it again. It made such a good imprint that like I don't need to rewatch that. I don't rewatch a lot of things. Because I saw it once and there's so much fucking media out there. I've had my experience. I'm good. The sequel does add Catherine Newton. I'm really stoked about that. Love Catherine Newton from Paranormal Activity and Detective Pikachu fame. I know she's probably done other things, but Detective Pikachu, starring role. And Elijah Wood shows up, or as I call him, Elijah Weird, because he's just doing side quests, and I adore that man. He's just doing whatever he wants. He's just out here. He's like, I made my Lord of the Rings money. I can do the weird roles now. Sin City, that was the first one I saw where I was like, is that Frodo? And he just has gotten so much weirder since then. Toxic Avenger, it's great. So yeah, those are my upcoming movies I'm most excited about. To recap, March 6th, The Bride. March 13th, Undertone. March 17th, A Useful Ghost, which is a vacuum cleaner movie, and it's getting an American release. And March 20th, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Mark your calendars. I'm going to try to see all of those. It's going to be a busy month, but it always is. To start off the movie news section, JD, would you like to talk about Aaron Lung, since you have the numbers, and I just want to talk about Markiplier being a thirsty trap of a man?
Sure, and that actually gives me an opportunity here. I did want to throw one other thing in here on the upcoming movies, because I took a quick look at the list here as well, just to see if there was anything specific that you didn't
JD,
mention that I was into.
Are you referring to the list that is on the website that I didn't even tell people about? In case they're not aware, I have my personal database shared on the the WeWatchShutter.com website, horror movie release dates, and it is a database of every movie that would be in the horror or thriller category that's on my radar that has a release date of, I think I started January 1st, 2024. Actually, no, it might have been January 1st, 2025. I'll have to look and get back to you. There's 1,158 records in the public view of it. There's more in my personal database that includes things that aren't horror and thriller and are from before that, and I'll never share that because sometimes it's very embarrassing, the things that I choose to watch, and I feel really dumb about it, but I do it anyway, and that's for me. You guys don't get to know all my secrets.
Yes, Michelle, that spreadsheet, the one that I just mentioned moments ago, doesn't even have that one movie listed on it.
Yep. But I'm saying people might not have known what spreadsheet and that's available to them. I'm letting them know, if you want to go check this baby out, I try my best. But sometimes, listen, I got COVID. I could have died, JD. I could have died.
Did you get, well, my mother did die, Michelle, so.
Oh, take a shot. JD, God, we get it, JD. Your mom died.
Oh, wow. Did I really just sing that? And speaking of dead, so I did want to mention before I talk about Iron Lung, finally, at least according to the website chart, March 20th, we're finally getting, and I'm wondering if that's going to be like a Shudder release or something, Grace Glowicky's Dead Lover, which I'm pretty like 100% sure at this point. I'm pretty sure Yellow Veil is involved with that one. Yeah, definitely they are. But it's been on my radar for a while. It premiered at Sundance last year, like January last year. So it's been excited, and it looks like we're finally going to get that. And so that's the one for March that I'm real stoked on that you didn't mention.
Awesome. Also, because I have back-end view of my database, I know a useful ghost, aka Pichai Dai Ka, is on the website now. I didn't check the box to show that it should go on the website. I have a little checkbox if it's just for my personal archive or not. Also, it is from Thailand. Also, partially created in Singapore, Germany, and France. This is also the data I keep for myself that no one has access to. I put in where the country of origin is and what the language it was filmed in is so that I know if I want to watch subtitles that day or not. Listen, I'm on medication, and I'm sure it will make this all better someday, but that day is not today. So, a useful
That is
ghost.
not this day.
That is not today.
All right,
Okay,
so
we're moving
moving into the news
Talk about
then. We're going to
Markiplier.
talk about Iron Lung right off the bat because, I mean, it's a big story in horror right now. So just looking at the overall theatrical numbers then from Box Office Mojo, most up-to-date numbers as of right now, which looks like it includes this past Friday the 13th, but not yesterday. Anyway, right now, domestic gross at the box office for Iron Lung, remember this is a $3 million movie, domestic box office, $37.9 million, international box office, $5.65 million, for total worldwide box office, $43.55 million on a $3 million budget. Holy shit.
And it set the record for most fake blood used in a movie. And I have seen some of the behind the scenes footage. I'm really looking forward to give me that DVD, aka Blu-ray commentary. I don't know if they're going to call it Blu-ray commentary. What do they call it nowadays? But that commentary, I'm looking forward to watching that and seeing the behind the scenes, because the little bit that I saw where he's just submerged in fake blood and then comes out all slow, God, that looks so cool. It looks so cool. I won't be covered in blood like that. It just looks nice.
This movie has made back almost 15 times its production budget.
Amateurs. Markiplier is such a gem that he's like, this is great. I can pay my staff more. That's why we want to support him. He is just a wholesome, very funny, attractive man. And there's not a whole lot of them. So we have to appreciate the ones we have. Most, like, Markiplier is one of those that if he showed up on the Epstein files, I would question my entire existence and I would probably end it. I have a short list. It includes him, Steve Irwin, Robert Irwin, Mr. Rogers, LeVar Burton, just a Steve from Blue's Clues. Like, I have a short list of if these men are in the files. It means that everything we've ever considered is, like, it doesn't matter. We should burn it all down. There's no hope for anything. Those are the ones that I'm like, I know things are shitty, but as long as Markiplier isn't in there, I swear to God, JD.
I know
burn
the
it.
world is on fire, but as long as this internet celebrity is not in the Epstein files, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
It's an
one
interesting
person I
outlook
will
on
be like,
life, Michelle.
I need to cling to something in the hellscape that we live in, and
Hey,
that's
wherever you can
what
find it
is.
at this point.
Yeah. So yeah,
At
Iron
least
Lung, it did pretty okay.
Markiplier's not in the Epstein. Hey, also, Michelle, have you forgotten the Dow is over 50,000?
Oh yeah, the Dow. We should be talking about the Dow. Yep.
That's
Wow.
going to become a
I care
thing.
so
Like
much.
if we get through all this bullshit and we survive long enough, somewhere way down the road, people are going to use that as slang for, like, mocking something. They're going to be just like, oh, like people who are, like, really down on something is like, what are you upset about? The Dow's over 50,000, and nobody's going to even remember why we say it, but it's going to be a thing we say.
I'm doing this little, I bought myself a journal, about a lot of the women in my life, a journal for one of their Christmas presents. Not the only one, because I didn't want to just give them a project, but it's a little 1 line a day journal where you have just a little paragraph and that's all you do. You write one sentence about the day and that's it, and you do it for 5 years. And so I did that. And yesterday I was talking about how I hope in the future archaeologists are, I mean, if we're still around, highly unlikely that humans will be a thing, but aliens, whoever, they find our records. I hope that they think that we truly referred to hockey as Boy Aquarium. I hope they're like, oh yeah, it makes sense because they were watching the boys swim around in the tank. Because that is my favorite modern verbiage. And they're boys. They're in a little tank and you just watch them. You watch them go all swimming around. It's great. Boy Aquarium. You're watching the boys.
That's Michelle's terminology for hockey.
I fucking love hockey, and I did just learn that there is now women's hockey that is really gaining traction. And according to the friend who told me, hey Tristan, who told me about women's hockey, she said it's even more violent. And that is the reason I watch hockey. Oh my God, I went to hockey for Valentine's Day because, you know, nothing more romantic than watching dudes punch each other in the face. And within 5 minutes, they had, two of them had taken their gloves off. They had ripped each other's helmets off and were just pummeling each other. They each got an 18-minute penalty box. And that is the 15 minutes. But both of them were number 18, which I thought was very funny. And they both kept getting busted for fighting the whole time. God, I love hockey. I just love any sport where just dudes punch each other in the face. And now apparently women can punch each other in the face, and that's equality.
It's an interesting thing about hockey as a professional sport is like every now and then the game just stops and a couple of dudes have a fist fight and the refs just kind of let it go for a little while and then it's like, oh, okay, that's enough. And then they keep playing the game.
You know what I also really love about it? It's so rare that the players are mad at each other after the fight. Like, at yesterday's game, 18 and 18,
that's the whole reason those guys are on the team.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the big fight that happened yesterday was basically everybody who was on the ice was just going at it. One guy accidentally punched a referee in the face. So funny.
Okay. Yeah, that's a different story.
And so they were going... And then it got done, and they were just, like, laughing with the other team and, like, patting each other on the back. Like, oh, man, I punched you real hard, huh? Like, that's why it's so good. It's just wholesome, good, violent fun.
It's just like a good old-fashioned down-home redneck bar fight.
Yeah. I think all activities should have more testosterone.
Just
that
punch
would make
each
the
other
world
up and
a
then
better
have
place.
beer together.
Yeah, not beer, though, because beer is gross. Have Dr. Pepper. I don't know. Okay, movie news. Iron Lung, that did well. I have just a couple quick headlines to get through that I will just, you know, like I said, naming things that other people might not be aware of. Oh, yes, JD.
I'm so sorry, Michelle, but I don't know how I possibly could have missed it, probably because you and I just talked about it before we were recording. Also coming out in March on Shudder, the 27th, Mortuary Assistant.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. We forget that other people
This is why we had to spin this
things
off into its own episode, is because there's just so much shit to talk about. No, a new movie from Jeremiah Kipp as director. Got a small role by our friend John Adams is in that movie. Getting great word of mouth on its theatrical run this week, or this weekend it opened up. Playing in about, I wanted to say like 200, 250 theaters, AMCs and Regals. But we get it on Shudder at the end of March, and super stoked to see that. Was a big fan of Jeremiah's last feature, Slapface, even though I'll never forgive him for that title. It's you had Virago right there in front of you. Come on. It's a fabulous movie. It's on Shudder. You should see that as well. I know Michelle has played or has watched somebody play the video game. It was one of those situations.
Yes, which is not just watching somebody like Markiplier. We do a thing with my friends called Spooky Game Nights, or Spookums, which is where our friend Brock, who is not very scared, plays games projected onto a wall in his downstairs living room theater place. And all of our friends who are very big scaredy cats, we freak each other out because something happens and somebody screams and then we all scream. And then it was just a shadow. And then something else happens that's actually scary and then we scream again. It's great. It's just you get your scaredy cat friends together and you make them watch a game. And it's just it's the best time. I highly recommend that everybody around the world should get a Spookum game crew together.
And so many horror games are like that, right? They're more like an atmospheric experience. So really, you just got to have somebody kind of at the controls, and they can still be a really enjoyable collective experience for everybody watching, for sure.
Yeah, because there's also some games that aren't great for doing that. But Mortuary Assistant is great because it's one of those where, like, somebody will catch something and be like, wait a minute, do you see that shadow? And everyone goes, no. And then he's whipping around and like, yes, there is a thing that we missed. Or else, no, there isn't. And everybody's on high alert because we didn't get to see it. So those kinds of games are great because we're constantly like, oh my God, there was a thing. And like nobody else happened to see it at that moment. And then also like the energy, I get way more freaked out by stuff when I'm watching it with other people because their anxiety is giving me anxiety. So yeah, I highly recommend. There's some games that sucks for, but Mortuary Assistant is a great one.
Yeah, you and I both are well known for our social anxiety and our limited interest in being around people. But one of the few things where I genuinely enjoy being in a decent-sized crowd is going to certain kinds of horror movies in the theater. Like when we went to see the first Megan, that is the perfect kind of movie to see in a theater with a bunch of people. It's an energy that you can't get any other way, and it is occasionally very fucking fun.
Sometimes it sucks, but for the most part, it's fun.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the Mortuary Assistant. We'll be talking about it on the show, of course.
Uh-oh, JD, you froze for me for a second. I hope this is a temporary thing. Oh, no.
Yeah. No, it's a temporary thing.
You're back. Okay, thank God. It's all
Man,
temporary.
we're just having all sorts of fun glitches with the internet tonight.
Oh, drink if we're having tech issues. This is going to be like the last Michelle in the News where I was hammered. I need to start drinking during these every time something happens. Be like, oh,
maybe. I don't know.
JD said this sure is great podcasting. Take a shot. Oh man, I was too drunk last time. Drank a whole bottle of wine. Why did I do that?
You were thirsty.
I know why. Anxiety. Yeah. Thirsty for Markiplier. Okay, quick headlines. There's a new Paranormal Activity movie coming. I don't have a lot of info, but it's coming. And I love Paranormal Activity, the first half. That last one was pretty good, but that could be hit or miss. I'm excited for it. The last one, the marked ones?
The marked ones was not the last one.
Well, this is
now
Paranormal
we gotta get the Paranormal Activity franchise. Here's what I'll say about it.
And that was Paranormal Activity 7.
Which, oh man, why?
Oh, Next of Kin was the last one. I think Marked Ones was 6. Okay, well, I take it back. 6th, no, that was Ghost Dimension. What the fuck was the Marked Ones? Hang on, everybody, pause.
That was number 5.
2014. Oh my God, that was a long time ago. Okay, well, we're just going to ignore 2 other films in the franchise then.
Hey, drink again, because that's great podcasting.
That's great podcasting. Okay, next, we're getting a Texas Chainsaw Massacre TV series being produced by A24. That could be hit or miss, but it's A24.
Here's what's going to be important for that for me is
the chainsaw.
This new I'm definitely now going to be even more curious about the Crystal Lake show. Right, because
that's also what I was thinking about.
Yeah, A24 is involved there too, and to me, like I'm not big on that idea, just because, like we've already had like 10 movies in the Friday the 13th franchise, right? Like, what are we gonna do with so I'm curious to, I'm tentatively curious because it is A24 and they do a lot of really great shit, but how I feel about this Texas Chainsaw Massacre series is going to depend a lot on how I end up feeling about the Crystal Lake series. I can tell you this much, as I'm sure you assumed, the moment I heard the news, I was, my immediate reaction was, oh, I don't like that idea at all. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, see how it goes.
That's actually the reaction that I did expect you to have was I'll give them because we just talked about Crystal Lake, and I have hopes for it because Welcome to Derry is so good, and that's being done by the same guy. So I'll see what they do. Better have a chainsaw.
I think important there is, like, obviously I like Friday the 13th, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre for me, especially that original film, like, that's... The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the first time I was ever that scared by a film, and also maybe the last time I was ever that scared by a film. The first time I saw that movie fucked me up, and I will never forget it. So I'm a little anxious.
Well, hopefully you can relive that again. But
well,
but
as long as it's good, right?
If that one doesn't scare you, this next one on the list has a pretty good chance of freaking you out. Maybe this will be the one that really scares you. Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell are making Kenan and Kel Meet Frankenstein, and I'm so excited. The 90s kid in me is so excited about it.
It is a fun Kenan and Kel story. I'm glad you brought this up because I did remember hearing about this. Obviously, I knew who Kenan and Kel were, but again, I'm just old enough that a lot of that Nickelodeon stuff, I missed it. Right, I had an awareness of it, but I was just, and so I had never seen Good Burger until about 4 years ago, and then I saw
that's a
Good
weird
Burger.
Age to get introduced to it.
Yeah, it was my late friend Dee made me watch it because she was like, "How have you never seen Good Burger?" And because so I saw it. And I of course said, how have I never seen Good Burger? Because that movie, it's ridiculous, but it's the kind of ridiculous fun that I remember enjoying when I was much younger, and I got that feeling from it again. So no, I'm because it's that playing off that Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein kind of thing. I'm actually really excited for this. I feel like it could be a real good time. Again, in a way that just because I'm old and bitter and jaded, I don't get to have that kind of a good time very often anymore. And that's on me, but I love that something is... I still feel like something will be able to get me there.
I am happy that you're excited about that one because I'm very excited for the same reason of it's just dumb humor. And I like that. Sometimes I just want some stupidity that doesn't come from the general public and their opinions on important issues. Sometimes I just want Kenan and Kel to meet Frankenstein, you know?
I don't even know that, like, I was about to say, dumb or stupid in the most respectful ways, but I don't know. I think I would just say it's just silly, right? It's just taking the piss, and it's just interested in being fun and nothing else, and I love that.
I used to watch the Kenan and Kel show all the time, and Kel loves orange soda, and he would say, "Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Is it true? I do, ooh." And I still say, every time I drink an orange soda, who loves orange soda? Shell loves orange soda. Is it true? I do, ooh. That has shaped me as an adult. It's an important part of my life.
What was that other Nickelodeon show that they were on?
All That.
All That, yeah, I remember hearing about that show, but I was just a little too old to be in on that line of things on Nickelodeon. I'm old enough to remember. First time I saw Nickelodeon is when we moved to Dickinson in 1988. And I can very clearly remember the first time I saw You Can't Do That on television, and people getting just randomly slimed in the middle of a TV show. And I'm pretty sure that's the first place I ever saw, like, Double Dare. 80s Nickelodeon was dope.
Wild and Crazy Kids. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah.
What happened there is... we moved back to Jamestown and my family couldn't afford cable. So there was also a stretch in the 90s where I just didn't have access to anything Nickelodeon. There's like early mid 90s stuff that I probably would have been a big fan of. I just never got to see it.
Drink every time one of us talks about how we were super poor growing up. Because that's guaranteed every episode.
Also, as long as
I
we're at it,
told you.
drink every time we get wildly off topic.
I think that was all on topic. It was about TV, and this is a movie podcast. It counts. It counts. That was probably the most on topic we will be. Next, I'm going to read you verbatim what my note is, because I told you sometimes I put tidbits in here that are just for you, JD. The Confession. It's a movie about rats that was made with real rats. IDK. You can stream it now.
I can stream it now?
Yeah, it only has a 3.9 on IMDb, but I read the
What's it
interview
called?
with the writer-director. The Confession. Will Cannon did an interview talking about how it was so fun and unique to be able to train 8 rats and then make them look like a even bigger mischief. He used the word mischief, so he knows it's rats. And so he said it was real fun, and so I know you like rats. That's a rat movie. Doesn't have great reviews, but it's got real rats.
It's on VOD right now, and I just got my first reasonable paycheck from my new job that I'm loving, so I might treat myself to a rat movie after we're done tonight.
I think it's going to be one of those where, like, the movie's not good, but you love the rats so much that you're totally fine with
Oh,
that.
Michelle.
And it's okay. What?
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said, oh, Michelle, but maybe it was just
I did.
more
You cut
type
out
of
again
she's
just
doing it.
briefly.
Oh.
We're having a real good time with the internet tonight. Drink again.
I'm drinking Red Bull. 9 o'clock on a Sunday, and I have to be up at 7 a.m. May as well just get real caffeinated, because it doesn't affect me, because I grew up on soda, because our water wasn't drinkable. Drink, because we didn't have good water growing up. That was before water bottles. You had to buy water in jugs at the grocery store. You could bring your jugs in to get them refilled for cheaper. Okay, then my next, this is a sad one to like go into laughing. Catherine O'Hara died, 71 years old. In case you're unfamiliar, she was a horror icon. Her biggest ones were Beetlejuice, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Monster House. She voiced, I forgot who, but somebody in it. And then she was also very well known for her comedic roles. Most recently, Schitt's Creek as Moira. And she was in Home Alone as the mom, the neglectful mother. Best in Show. Everybody said she was just a gem of a human. And so we lost one that sounds like, in addition to being talented, just a good human. So that's a bummer. But 71, that's a pretty okay age, you know? Like, 70's good. I think I'll be ready to clock out at like 45. So, like, make it into 70. And when I say that, I have like friends and relatives. I do mean friends who are in their 70s. And they're like, oh, wow. And I'm like, no. We are not the same person. I know plenty of very spry 85-year-old men because my uncle is 85 and very spry. And God, I hope Tom's actually 85. If he's like 62, he's going to be so mad at me for saying that.
Is he
like,
listening?
I know plenty of people in their 80s. Jeff is. And Jeff will tell him, like, your niece thinks that you're 85. Anyway, like, that's different. They are going to be, I'm not going to age well. I'm not going to be a good product at 45, and I will be ready to go. There's a difference. I do not go for regular walks. Are you fucking kidding me? I will be used up in a husk of a person.
There's another one. Drink every time one of us has severe depression.
Not depression's realism.
I agree.
If I make it
Sometimes they're
past
the same
45,
thing.
then, you know, yeah, sadly, yes. Next, Sam Zimmerman was hired as Senior Vice President, Development and Acquisitions at Blumhouse/Atomic Monster. In case you're unfamiliar, he was Shudder's Senior VP of Programming and Acquisitions. So this is just the year of a bunch of big guys transferring from one horror thing to another horror thing. I'm going to say that's super vague because I think that's funny.
Michelle, you would know more about this. Maybe I'm just misinterpreting something, but I was under the impression that this was a thing where he was like still going to be active at Shudder as well, or is this like a complete transfer?
Ooh. the way that I read it, and I read
may
two
be
articles,
just-
sounded.
I might just be
Like
conflating
he was
two different
transferring.
things, but
You know what? He's got a LinkedIn. Hang on. Sam Zimmer. No, I don't want to sign into LinkedIn. Then I'm going to get a million emails from recruiters.
no, you know what?
I don't want to.
It might have been. I might be conflating this with something that had to do with Brad Miska, because he was involved with that film distribution thing, and then he also got back with. I don't know. It's not important. I was just.
Dread Center.
Anyway, good for Sam. He's done good stuff at Shudder. So even if he is moving on, I imagine. And now I feel terrible because it was Craig Engler and Sam Zimmerman, and then there's the lady, and of course the lady is the one whose name I don't remember. But I wonder if she's going to be moving into Sam's shoes then.
I will always have respect for Sam Zimmerman because he would occasionally like our tweets back when we did Twitter. He would like them, and he never chastised us for using the name We Watch Shudder. And for that, I salute you, Sam.
He's a good dude.
I hope you do well.
For sure.
Yeah, we very briefly talked to him in that he would sometimes like tweets we sent.
No,
to him.
Michelle,
So,
you're
what
thinking
a
of Craig
great
Engler
person.
before he left.
I thought Sam Zimmerman was also kind to us.
He
on
was,
Twitter.
but Craig was way more active than Sam was.
Oh man, Sam Zimmerman can go fuck himself.
Michelle, no,
I'm kidding.
no.
I think everybody except you knows I'm joking, JD.
I'm gonna feel terrible until I figure out that lady's name because it's totally dude of me that it's the one lady involved and I can't remember
was gonna
her
say,
fucking
is
name.
Drink because JD's feeling guilt about something because he's putting too much
Probably.
pressure on himself for a social issue that is just forgivable because I don't remember anybody's fucking name, woman or not, non-binary, whoever they are. I don't know your name. I don't know your face. I'm bad with people.
Well,
Good with video games.
you go ahead and keep on with the news. I'll figure it out in the background here.
Okay, sounds good. This one is also in here because I thought it might pique your interest, JD. This sounds like it would be torture for me, but it does sound like a thing that you might like, and I know other people would be interested in. Miskatonic Institute of Horror Studies was founded in 2010 by Kirla Janice,
Yep.
and they are now offering online classes. In case you're unfamiliar, this is, what is my exact? Hosts various talks and lectures, both online and in person at the Horse Hospital in London, a former stable and veterinary clinic turned independent arts venue. But I love to think that there's still just like horses walking around in the hallways. I know that's not the case, but I do love being like, I went to horse college for my horror studies. Like, that's so funny to me. Online passes are only £35, which translates to about $50 USD. Some example courses include The Finder and the Moon, Real UFOs Caught on Film, New Black Gothic Romance, Gazing at the Trans-Feminine Grotesque, and Bloodwork, The Craft and Culture of Gore Cinema. Now, I do like watching movies, but I have a feeling that these classes are going to be having discussions about technically what makes a movie good and writing essays about that same thing. And that sounds like a goddamn nightmare. I watch a movie and I go, I like the way that the blood looked. I liked when Markiplier was dunked in a whole tub of blood. That was real cute. Did you see the thing where he took his shirt off and he was wearing like that slutty little harness? That was pretty good. I can't put that in an essay and get an A. That's not the thing that's going to get me farther in life. But other people might really like that. For only $50, that's a good rate for a college class. Let me tell you, somebody in college who had a legitimate panic attack for a half hour while taking her accounting exam earlier today because I completely shut down and didn't think I could read the words on the page, and then looked up whether it was timed or not, found out it wasn't timed and that it was only 2 p.m. and I had plenty of time to hyperventilate, and then sat there breathing heavily for a half hour until I had time to process the words, and then got a 98%. $50 for online classes sounds way better.
Yeah,
Truly, it was a nightmare.
They've been around. I've been aware of them for a while, and I do know that for the longest time they had like individual lectures that you could pay to watch on kind of like a video on demand thing. So this sounds like it's more like a subscription based service or something where there's a lot of things you can just come in and see kind of on demand through your subscription, your one-time payment. Is that correct?
That's what I gather from it. I was on the website because I was curious how many courses they offer. It was kind of a short list. I think it was like 8 of them. I grabbed the 4 that seemed the most entertaining to me. But it seems like it is just on demand. I am curious if there is coursework or if this is just watching, videos.
As I recall from what I saw previously, it's more like a lecture series. Where they have like guests or panels who come in and just kind of talk about certain things, certain topics in relation to horror movies and stuff. No, I've definitely looked at it in the past and considered checking out some of their online live streams at the time, but it's been a little while. I'll have to look back into it. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. At the very least, they have made some change to their program that was making headlines. So whatever it used to be, apparently it's better because it's back in the news. And I knew that you were probably aware of what it used to be. I don't know what it used to be. I was on the website. It seems cool. It seems real nerdy. That's your thing. I bet you would love to listen to people use big words about why the movie looked good.
Oh,
but that's not, I can't do it.
Yeah, and also, I loved Kayla Janice's book, House of Psychotic Women.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Fabulous stuff. So yeah, absolutely, I would be down for something like that. I just like the nerdy sort of academic side of horror,
No, I don't. I like when movies look pretty. I like movies scary. Oh, big jump. See, that's they'd be like, can you write a paper? No. I don't know how to write. I'm sorry. I can tell you big business words. I can do that kind of class. But tell me why Sinners was a masterpiece. I don't know the one music scene. That is my segue. That was a glorious segue. You all missed it. 2026 Academy Awards. Sinners got 16 Oscar nominations, which is a record. And I did track down every category that contained horror movies. So here it is. For Best Picture, we had 3 horror movies nominated. Sinners, obviously, Begonia, and Frankenstein. Best Director includes Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Actress in a leading role included Emma Stone from Begonia. Actor in a leading role, it's Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. Actress in a supporting role, we have Amy Madigan from Weapons and Wunmi Mosaku from Sinners. Actors in a supporting role, Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo, Sinners, and he's the boy, right? I didn't confirm, but I would imagine that was the young boy who sings I Lied to You.
I think so.
I'm hoping. I think so too. I was not familiar with him before the... Oh, wait. You don't look like a young boy, Delroy Lindo.
Oh no, Delroy Lindo.
Okay.
I didn't catch the name you were talking
wrong.
about. Yeah, that's the old fella.
Yeah, I'm completely wrong. He's one of those where every time I see him, I go, oh, it's that guy. But the name, I'm bad with remembering people. Adapted screenplay, not Sinners, Begonia and Frankenstein, and that's because original screenplay, Sinners. Costume design included Frankenstein and Sinners, achievement in casting, Sinners, makeup and hairstyling, Frankenstein, Sinners, and The Ugly Stepsister, which I am thrilled to see get a nomination. That is a great category for it. Original score, Begonia, Frankenstein, Sinners. Animated feature film, K-pop Demon Hunters, holla. Cinematography, Frankenstein, Sinners. Film editing, Sinners. Original song, I Lied to You, Sinners. Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. Production design, Frankenstein, Sinners. Sound, Frankenstein, Sinners. Visual effects, Jurassic World Rebirth, Sinners. So, Sinners... Yeah, Academy Awards are March, if I am not mistaken. I'm gonna Google real quick because we live in a time of the internet. Yeah, March 15th. So I'll be checking back in for Michelle in the news to let you know how they did. But I mean, they're probably gonna take Best Picture. I would be really surprised if they didn't. I've been listening to I Lied to You on Spotify. I'm not gonna say too much about it. But that is the song that plays during the big moment of the movie that everybody is like, that's one of the best pieces of cinema ever, just that thing.
The dance
and
hall
the
thing?
version on Spotify. Yeah. The version on Spotify, I wasn't sure how it was going to be because there's not narration in all of it. And the Spotify, or like the song just without the movie, is still very good. So that has been on my rotation lately. It's one of my alarm songs.
No, I just and I get, again, it's somewhat horror adjacent probably, but I just love the idea that the record of all time for the most Oscar nominations for any movie is now held by a horror movie. I love that. At the very least, you could say a vampire movie.
That counts as horror.
Right.
I think anytime there's a vampire, automatically they're gonna suck your blood.
That's pretty.
Horror.
Yeah, it's a horror
horrific.
movie. So
Yeah. Next.
I did, by the way.
Yes.
I did. Her name is Emily Gatto, Gotto, Emily Gatto. And while
the lady.
Yeah, from Shudder, who was working with Sam, and looking at a little bit of information quickly, looks like it's at least suggested, or the idea is that she was specifically behind acquiring both Late Night with the Devil and The Ugly Stepsister. And if that's the case, I can't imagine anybody else taking the position. I really can't. Yeah. But that, I guess time will tell. Because I did also verify, no, Sam is leaving Shudder. He will be with Blumhouse exclusively.
I imagine that would just be difficult to be vice presidents of two departments at completely different companies when they're that size.
Yeah, for sure.
That sounds like a level of multitasking even I can't manage. Okay, next quick little thing. I just thought this was fun. Briarcliff Entertainment, who is behind Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, had a giveaway for 2,000 tickets to go to their movie. And it was based on user-submitted stories about how AI stole their jobs. To quote Briarcliff CEO Tom Ortenberg, he said, "Who better to see a film about AI's impact than those already experiencing it firsthand?" So that just seems like a little fun thing, because AI is ruining everything. And then just moving right along before JD has time to interject, there's a new horror movie about mosquitoes coming. It's titled Bloodsuckers. It's a Swedish film that's premiering at the European Film Market in Berlin, and I just had to include it because I hate mosquitoes. I don't like anything that takes your blood without asking. We were just talking about vampires. Luckily, they're sometimes really nice and they ask you, but mosquitoes, ticks, leeches, those are my least favorite things, and we have an abundance of them in the upper Midwest of America. They say that the mosquito is the Minnesota state bird, and that feels pretty accurate. Portrait of God. This is a short that is getting a feature-length adaptation. It was a YouTube short, YouTube movie, it's a thing you can watch online, roughly 6 or 7 minutes without credits, if I'm remembering. I just rewatched it, but it is getting a feature-length adaptation produced by Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi. Dylan Clark wrote and directed the original. As far as I know, he co-wrote the feature-length, but I'm not positive if he is the same person who will be directing it. Sounds like it's probably a safe assumption, but Portrait of God is a short film about a girl who is presenting what is considered the portrait of God, and different people see different things. For the most part, most people will look at it and see nothing, but other people describe this figure that is the same description every time, but just cannot be seen by most people. It is a great short film. I love cosmic horror. I love the idea of something so scary that we can't even comprehend it. And to know that there's a feature length coming, very exciting.
They're making a feature length version of, I don't remember the name of it, but that Portrait of God, that short film that you showed me. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, I'm down for that.
Written by the same guy, probably directed and produced by Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi.
Is that still freely available out there somewhere?
It is. It's on YouTube.
Guys, go watch it.
It's so good.
You know me, I'm the kind of guy who's like, I feel like horror should be as long as it needs to be, right? And as with anything, like not all shorts are going to be successful or your type, dude. That it's one of the better horror shorts I've seen in a long time, and we watch a lot of horror shorts. So I strongly recommend you check that one out. It was super cool.
It's so good. So new Faces of Death movie coming April 10th. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
One of the big questions is a lot of people, I don't know if I would say but I say Faces of Death has a lot of popularity. The original, just in case people don't know, was just like all these videos about death, and it did include real death, real violence, interspersed with a lot of fictional things. Mostly animals, unfortunately, but definitely some real footage. And why I added this as a news thing is I found the director Daniel Goldhaber, his explanation when people were asking how he's gonna live up to that reputation. This was the quote he gave. "We came up with a solution to that problem that required a lot of legal and logistical footwork. It's very important to us to honor the parts of that aspect of the original. We have done our best in the movie to do that within the bounds of the law." And I have a feeling like you can show real death and stuff. Like, that's not new. So it's maybe just one of those quotes that gets people hyped up for it for something like we've seen before.
Whole lot of sound and fury.
Know.
Well, here's the thing about the news of this remake that surprised me is part of because the original film plays out almost like a documentary, right? It's like a collection of footage of different things, hence being called Faces of Death. And like you said, everybody knows at this point that a lot of it is not real. It's staged special effects stuff, but there is some legit stuff in there. All of that, they announced as part of the news that this, what is it, Charlie XCX is going to be starring in the remake.
Yeah. How
do you star in the remake of a documentary that was really just a collection of there are no roles in that movie, right? There are no characters in that movie except maybe the narrator. And that's just a narrator. It's not really a character. So I'm curious, like I'm not even sure how it's going to work. That was the weird part about it to me.
Barbie Ferreira from Euphoria is also on the cast. It's just, they got bigger names. So that implies that there is more than one big role. And what does that mean? Maybe they'll both be monkeys getting their brains eaten like the first one. They just were like, we need a big name to be the monkey this time. Somebody people will remember. Charlie XCX is also about to be in a Takashi Miike film.
I know.
Apparently she's just doing.
I know. Curiouser and curiouser. Michelle, does she have any songs that I might know as somebody who's mostly detached from pop culture? Has she had anything that was big enough that I might know?
She does the chorus of Black Widow with Iggy Azalea, which is one of my karaoke songs.
I don't, that doesn't mean none of those words mean anything to me.
Okay.
Is she, did she do that song from Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
I was about to say she did Bodies, 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 and she's also on the Barbie soundtrack. I think she's the one that, oh, Barbie, you're so...
I don't remember that, but I did see the movie. Okay. But she did that song about I'm a hot girl.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's the only thing I know about Charlie XCX.
Okay. I like her music. Apparently, I immediately blinked out. Speed Drive is the name of that one that I was thinking of. But I was like, music you might know about. Well, yeah, she's Charlie XCX. Of course she is. That's a name for a hot girl. That's a hot girl name. That's like, you don't give birth to a baby and you go, I'm naming this baby Charlie XCX. That's a name that you get when you become a hot girl.
Wouldn't that be wild if that was like her birth certificate government name?
This is my baby, Charlie XCX. Does not get a nickname. Refer to her all the time.
You've seen Elon Musk's kid's legal name. I don't even want to try to, it's that fucking weird string of shit.
Yeah, those kids are gonna get so bullied.
Oh,
Okay. Sam Raimi has a screenplay and 2 directors for the Darkman sequel. There are 2 other Darkman movies past the first one, but apparently they're ignoring those because Sam Raimi wasn't involved. So I know JD likes Darkman, and it sounds like we are legitimately getting an actual sequel.
I'm stoked on that. The original Darkman is legit. You get Oscar-winning, incredible actress Frances McDormand in an early role before she really broke through and got a lot of notice. I don't know if you knew this, Michelle. It's like famously known to a degree that Sam Raimi and Frances McDormand and Joel and Ethan Coen and a couple of other people, like they all lived together at one point while they were all like working. I don't know if they were all going to school. I don't remember the exact details, but like that's how Frances McDormand ended up meeting and marrying the one Coen brother, and that's why she's in Sam Raimi movies, and there's all this connection. But anyway, yeah, I fucking love the original Darkman. It's so good. I used to name my pub trivia team on a lot of occasions the Belisarius Memorandum, which is a thing that's like the MacGuffin from Darkman. But no, I heard that news, and all you had to tell me was Sam is involved, and I'm there with bells on. Stoked.
Yep.
I've never even seen the 2 sequels because I mean there's no Sam, so why would I care?
We ignore them. But now we're going to get a Return to Silent Hill thing where we're like, yay, the original creator's here. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, don't get me started. Return to Silent Hill it's haunting me. Next one, I've got a controversial take.
Oh, okay. Hot takes with Michelle.
Mike Flanagan, who we are both huge fans of. We did an entire Spooktober
I know
week
where
to
this
him.
is
Mike
going.
Flanagan. He's making another Stephen King adaptation. He's directing The Mist. I love The Mist. The Mist is imperfect, but still one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I love Mike Flanagan. I'm also a Stephen King fangirl, but I am growing jaded when it comes to Flanagan and King collabs. The current list, because I did have to go double check, outside of The Mist, he's got Gerald's Game, Dr. Sleep, The Life of Chuck, and eventually we will have Carrie and Dark Tower as TV series or miniseries. Mike Flanagan only has 21 things that he has directed. 6 of those being King adaptations is just kind of disappointing because I want more of his original stuff. I want more Haunting of Hill House, and I want more Fall of House of Usher. And I will accept the Midnight Murder Club or whatever that one was, if that's what I have to deal with. We're also kind of in this era of an oversaturation of King content, which, because King, everybody wants to adapt his stuff, but 2025 alone, we had The Long Walk, The Running Man, The Life of Chuck, and It Welcome to Derry. And it's just, I want him to go do other things. It's not to say that The Mist won't be great. I'm sure it will be a great movie, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, my immediate reaction to that news was exactly the same. It was like, oh, Mike Flanagan's doing another Stephen King thing. Oh, there's another Stephen King thing. Which is 100% because it's the same reason we're getting so many different Marvel things, right? Is because it's exploiting established intellectual property that these places already own. Right, they already own the filming rights to these things. So, my biggest reaction was, it's not even been 20 years since The Mist. Why are we making it again? And it's because it's intellectual property that they own. And it seems to me, it's almost like I find myself wondering if maybe Flanagan is just so much of a Stephen King fan himself that he can't say no to Stephen King projects. They come to him and they be like, hey, Stephen likes your stuff a lot and you seem to get him. Here's another one we're gonna do with or without you. Do you want to do this one too? So I wonder if maybe there's an element of that involved, but I agree. It's like, Man, at this point, I mean, I love your work, but I would like to see some more of your work, right? Your work is the stuff I really like.
I think I would be more excited if it was something like Gerald's Game, Doctor Sleep, or The Life of Chuck, where it hasn't been done before
Sure,
either.
absolutely.
The Mist, Carrie, and Dark Tower have all been at least attempted to be done. But I mean, we have a classic Carrie movie. We have a classic Carrie movie.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that I've never read a single line of the Dark Tower, but even I know that Dark Tower movie barely has anything at all to do with the actual Dark Tower books.
Of course. Of course. But I'm saying these are well-known properties to the extent that they've at least had attempts. And that's why I'm using, I know the classic Carrie, but we also had the Carrie Broadway musical, which I watched a whole video essay about. And that was, I've been on a thing of just watching YouTube essays of failed Broadway musicals lately. Yes, JD.
How big of a Stephen King fan are you?
He has way too much content for me to say that I've read a significant portion of it, but I would say I've read a lot of his popular stuff.
Is there something Stephen King that hasn't been adapted that you would like to see adapted?
I'm trying to think of something that hasn't been adapted because Tommyknockers is one of my favorites, but I think there's a movie.
Yeah, made
okay,
for TV.
I never saw the movie.
It's
that
terrible.
That was like one of my favorite. Okay, that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure that's been done. The Stand has had 2 adaptations, so obviously not that. Oh God, now I'm trying to think of my favorite Stephen King that hasn't been adapted.
I derailed everything again.
You know what? I'm gonna counter and say that instead of a Stephen King property, I would love for Mike Flanagan to go after Stephen King's arch nemesis. No, I'm kidding. It's just people compare them a lot. Dean Koontz, From the Corner of His Eye. That is one of my all-time favorite books. And I would say that's in the same vein as what Stephen King does, where it's really fucking scary. And I think Mike Flanagan would rock with that. So I don't know what Stephen King thing I could mention right now, because immediately everything I'm like, yeah, I've read his most popular stuff, so of course that's the stuff that's already movies and TV shows.
Yeah, I'm looking through a list of his
tangentially. Yeah.
Looking through a list of his bibliography right now and realizing there isn't a lot that hasn't already been adapted. Holy shit.
Is The Cell or Cell, I don't remember if it has a the, is that on that list? I think that's got an adaptation coming if it hasn't been.
Yes, let me take a look here and see release.
That one's fairly newer. I mean, it's 10, 15 years, but...
the film was released June 10th, 2016 to video on demand prior to opening and limited release in July 2016.
Damn. Okay. Because that was one that I'm like, maybe. But yeah, most of his good stuff gets made because we like Stephen King. It's not that we dislike Stephen King or Mike Flanagan. Right. I just want to see him do other stuff. Mm-hmm. Give me more Oculus. I'll never get Oculus if you're doing Stephen King stuff. You're too busy.
I mean, King's got several different short fiction collections, right? There's got to be stuff from those that could still be adapted into something bigger for sure.
I guess now that you bring it up, The Jaunt. I doubt The Jaunt has ever been done, and that's because it would not be done correctly. But The Jaunt is my favorite short story from Stephen King. I prefer his short stories over his full.
Michelle,
are you gonna tell me The Jaunt's been done?
No, I was just gonna say because it couldn't be done correctly has never stopped anybody from making anything. So that's
yes, but that's a very sci-fi one that. Trying to even attempt some of the things in that, I don't think we would have had, I guess I can't say we wouldn't have had the technology, but I'm sure a lot of people have been like, we can't do this. This is a bad idea. It's either going to be boring or it's going to be bad. There's no way to properly do it. I do think now we can make a really fucking great Jaunt movie, but that's my favorite one. And yeah, I guess if Mike Flanagan wanted to do that one, fine. But I'm grumpy. I mean, I'm thrilled he's doing Dark Tower, but stop it. Stop it. Just go do other things. It's okay. It's okay.
For
Go
real.
do other things. Thank you for giving me Dark Tower. I love that.
I imagine they're also, though, they gotta be throwing big piles of money at him. That's gotta be hard to say no to.
Yeah. I think that if Stephen King came to me and was like, do you want to adapt literally anything? I would be like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
course,
the thing is you come back to, that's why I say, like, I imagine for him, like, he will for the rest of his life say yes to any Stephen King project he's off. He's made it so clear so many times that Stephen King, like, fucking changed his life. So, you know, I get it for sure.
But do one that hasn't been done before. That's the compromise. Mike Flanagan, I know you're listening, and you need to do us this favor and either do original Stephen King things that have not been adapted, like The Jaunt, or stop it. Those are your options. Also, you seem like a very nice person, and I saw you at the Fargo Theater, and you just seem like a delight. So this is not a criticism as you as a person, unless you're in the Epstein files, because you're also on my list of people that if you're in the Epstein files, I'm going to throw it all.
Also, your wife smells amazing.
She does. She has one of the best smiles. She just seems so warm.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah. My last one. Blumhouse Enhanced Cinema on MetaQuest. MetaQuest is a VR headset, in case you're unfamiliar. Yes, it's from Meta, as in Facebook. Blumhouse Enhanced Cinema did a thing where they took the Black Phone and Megan, and you wear the headset and you watch it. And they said that it's like you're watching it in a movie theater, except that things happen off screen around you. Like, I guess when Megan does something, it looks like your surroundings are being analyzed, and so it makes you feel more immersed in it. And I know that this is gonna also get some criticisms, possibly more than my Mike Flanagan take, but that sounds cool as hell. I don't want to spend $500 on a MetaQuest headset, but I really like cool tech shit, and I feel like if they add even one more movie, I'm going to be like, $133 for 3 movies, or $163 or whatever that works out per movie. You know, that's not too bad. That's like 3 concerts, you know, and I'll probably get a fucking headset. And then I will be that dork being like, I'm gonna go watch the Black Phone. But here's the thing. I love VR. I love VR. I think VR is the thing that I wish everybody was putting a lot of time and effort into instead of AI, because it will give us the ability to explore our world and learn more about it. I just got really excited because during COVID, there was like the Louvre was giving tours, and like, put money at that. Let me go see the pyramids without leaving my house. There's too much stuff. I have to sit here and watch so many movies. Let me take 10 minutes on my lunch break and look at the pyramids. Like, let me go spelunking without actually having to spelunk, because that's the thing I'll never do. Let me go parachuting without ever having to jump out a plane. And I know people are like, oh my God, that sounds like a dystopian, horrible thing. No, like, let me experience things, please. There's too much stuff and I can't do it all. And there's no way I'm going in a tiny cave. I've seen that guy who got stuck upside down and took 3 days to die. That sounds like a nightmare. And I don't have to die like that because I won't go into a cave. But I guess what I'm saying is, VR freaks me out though, because like, what if somebody like sneaks up behind me and stabs me, you know? I always have to have a spotter when I do a VR headset, and I have to be able to hear them so that I know I'm not alone in the room, and that does kind of ruin the whole point of VR. But like, I've heard that they now have a thing where you can press a button and it shows, I don't know if this is just on like the Oculus or which headset, but you press a button and it gives you a camera so you can see around the room so that you don't have to take your headset off. And then that, like, you can switch back and forth, and that does sell me on it. But I gotta know what's around me. I don't want to be so immersed that I get stabbed to death, you know?
Yeah, I only ever wore a VR helmet one time, and I immediately got severe vertigo and almost actually fell down in the room I was in, and I never wore another one ever again.
The first time I did one, I put on the headset, and there was a big old dinosaur standing there, and it bent down, and it gave me a big sniff, and then I just watched it eat leaves, and I took the headset off, and I went, this is my favorite technology.
You know, I gotta take that back. I did wear one other time, and this was for something that I actually thought was really cool. Inside the VR, you go into this room that's like a giant movie theater, and you basically, like, you have your real life, like, Netflix or whatever connected to the program, and you can watch movies in VR on, like, a giant movie theater screen, and it legitimately felt like I was watching something on a very, very big screen. It was pretty fucking cool that you could just turn your VR helmet into a giant movie theater. That was pretty rad.
Yeah. That's similar to what Blumhouse Enhanced Cinema is. They're just taking it a step further. But yeah, like I want to experience everything that way, except I have to multitask because I have too much stuff to do. And like I said, I'm in accounting and I'm really scared about failing.
And you have
so
severe anxiety.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just need a spotter in the room. Every time I've done VR, I have to be able to be like, is somebody still here? And they go, yeah, I'm still here. And they're like on their phone or they're playing video games off to the side. I don't want to get stabbed to death while I'm wearing my headset. And I know I have 4 cats and a dog. The odds that one of them is going to brush against me and I'm going to punt my pet across the room is very high. Like, I can't have that happen.
Michelle, I live alone. I'm the only person in this building right now. I have the dog here is all. But in these situations, I'm sure you've noticed, I don't ever wear my headphones on both ears at the same time. Yeah. Because I hate the experience of being completely isolated in an audio capacity.
Yep. That's actually
terrifying.
Okay, now we're super off topic, but that is a thing that I have been working on, along with being a menace in 2026 as one of my New Year's resolutions, is I'm trying to put myself in situations that scare me and just see how I do in them. Like things that absolutely terrify me. That's why I went on a vacation by myself, and I was a big girl, and I didn't get murdered, even though I Ubered as a very short, very weak, fragile woman. I Ubered all over the place and nobody murdered me. One guy did make a lot of weird comments, and that did make me question my decision, but I had shared my location with friends. Anyway, one of the things I've been trying to do is isolate myself with audio and visual. So like putting on my headsets to try to really meditate with an eye mask. I don't like it, but I'm doing it anyway. The
only time I will occasionally go into a full isolation like that, like even if I'm just laying down for a nap at home, I hate it. But it's interesting that you say it that way, because what I will occasionally do or have done in the past, it's been a while, but a lot of the time when I eat acid or mushrooms, I will go through a period of that phase where I just lay down and I put some headphones on and pick some music and I play it as loud as I can physically handle it to make sure I am experiencing nothing but the music from an auditory experience, and it can be pretty fucking rad.
And I'm not even doing drugs, and I think it's rad. I don't like it, but I do like it. Like, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am very freaked out, but I'm like, don't worry. If somebody comes to murder me, I'm sure I will hear my dog over the sound of, like, this gentle waves lapping at a beach. Like, Ellie will be louder than the beach.
I find myself wondering sometimes, when I do it at least, is it like, am I afraid of what might be going on outside that could harm me while I'm isolated? Or am I afraid of the shit that I'm going to encounter when I block everything else out?
That's exactly why I'm doing it. Because I'm in therapy and we're trying to get into those deep, dark issues that I didn't realize I had. Yeah.
It's fun times, right?
Trying to be a better person by unlocking all the trauma and some repressed memories that I did not know were in there that I don't like.
No.
But on the other hand, I do also just love meditation, but I'm bad at it because, in case anybody's listening, I'm like this all the time. I always like blah, 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 all the time. Like, I hopped on a call the other day for work that was not a good call, and I was so chipper at 8 a.m, and the guy even said, like, well, I'm glad you're going into this with a good what was it? I'm glad you're going into this with a positive attitude. I'm like, I'm always annoyingly giddy. And then he just like didn't say anything. I was like, oh my God, why am I like this? I hate it. That's why I'm trying to be a menace. I'm trying to be the opposite of a weird, peppy, energetic person. I want to be grumbly and I want people to fear me. But alongside with that, I want to be mentally healthy. And so I'm trying to meditate and block things out and just like, what happens when there's not a voice talking to me at the same time that I'm talking? What does the voice have to say? What is your inner family system trying to tell you? Maybe have the protectors step aside for a minute so you can talk to that emotion that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's
as you can see, and as we have mentioned recently, Michelle is full of rage and whimsy.
I am so full of rage and whimsy. It is a healthy dose of both, but sometimes they get knocked aside and it's just panic. That is the third emotion, but it dominates. It's the biggest fraction.
Is it maybe an unhealthy dose of both, Michelle? And it's the two together that cause the panic?
No, I think the rage and the whimsy are my two best features.
Okay.
I am the friend who, if a guy hits you up on Tinder and then no-shows your date, I am the friend you want to tell. I am the one who will make his life fucking miserable, but you will be laughing while I'm doing it. I'm that friend.
I don't know if that's the flex you think it is, Michelle.
No, I do everything legally, but I also believe in karma, and sometimes karma doesn't work fast enough, so I have to do it.
That level of rationalization and justification is the kind of thing you would expect from somebody who's up to no good, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm a fucking menace. Like I said, my New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Have I mailed cow shit to a person anonymously? Yes. Is it legal? Also, yes. There's a company that'll do it.
This is
you have
now
to do more than just like showing a date.
This is now suddenly your moral compass is if it's legal, it's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Yep. Oh God, if we're doing it by those standards.
Oh, let's stop. Let's not go down that road.
Yeah. Okay.
What else do we have to talk about in the news?
Last video game news, which is going to be pretty short because I know you don't do the vidya games, but I do the vidya games. I won't bore everything with Roots Devour, but I mentioned it last month and I'm having a fucking great time with that. You're just a blood-eating carnivorous plant just trying to dominate the world by eating little rats and little human beings and trying to take over. It's real fun. So we won't talk about that, even though I just did. Most of the video game news that I'm paying attention to lately is all centered around Resident Evil Requiem, which gets released on February 27th. Obviously, that's the new Resident Evil game. I'm not going to play it. It might be a Spookum game in the future. I'll definitely be seeing some gameplay footage because of who I follow on YouTube. So I'll see it. But there's not a lot happening outside that. I can't say it that way because people are going to be like, oh my God, what about... There's a lot happening, but that's the big one. One of the other really big ones is that we have a new Silent Hill game coming, Silent Hill Downfall. Konami previously said we would be getting a new game every year, and it sounds like they're actually sticking true to that. And I think it's very obvious that they would continue doing that because Silent Hill is a very successful franchise. So of course we're getting another Silent Hill. We will get another Silent Hill until they're so bad that we're begging them to stop making Silent Hill, and then we will get 4 more. This is how it will work. Every year, Silent Hill and Resident Evil. We don't care if they're good. We don't care about that at all. We only care that they're out there. And so far, they're pretty good. So that's good. Exit 8, really fun indie game. This is kind of movie news. Exit 8, you're just walking through a subway and you turn around corner and there's just an empty hallway ahead of you. And you keep walking forward if everything seems normal. But if you notice something is off about the hallway, you have to turn around and walk back the way that you came. Sometimes it will be very obvious, like a person smiling in a completely creepy fashion. That's very much like, oh no, I don't like this, I'm leaving. But sometimes like a door is just the wrong color. Maybe a poster is, when you look up close, is actually people being murdered. All sorts of different possibilities. We do have a movie adaptation that got released in Japan, I believe. And that is getting a US release date of April 10th. So I'm just really excited. That is tangentially video game and movie news. Exit 8 is a very quick game if you want to check it out. That one's really fun. I was really bad at it. State of Decay 3 is supposedly still coming. Craig Duncan, who is the lead of Xbox Game Studios, said that we will get some more news in 2026. So the news is that we are getting more news. I'm just a huge State of Decay fan. State of Decay 2 is so fun, and I want more of it. It was a huge upgrade from State of Decay 1. Yeah. Anyway, and then my last thing, a demo of Perceptum came out on January 28th, and that looks so fun. I don't play things when they're in demo or early access. I wait until they are fully released, even if I still get the same kind of experience as a demo game. Looking at you, Cyberpunk 2077, sometimes things get released that were not ready, but also playing that release is one of my favorite game experiences of all time, because what the fuck was that about? Demo of Perceptum. It is a horror exploration game where you are a lady investigating a house, and you have just a tiny little handheld mirror that when you open the mirror, you can look behind you and try to figure out what's going on, what's spooky, why is that cross suddenly upside down in the reflection but not in real life. There's a lady and I can't see her in real life, but I see her in the mirror. Anyway, the graphics are beautiful. That looks really fun. I think that is a genius idea to focus your attention in such a small area, because obviously when you're focusing on it, then you get spooked. And you gotta focus. If you take the big picture and you put it in a little picture, it's a smaller amount. You gotta focus. That's the science of Demo of Perceptum. Anyway, I don't know when the full game's coming out, but those were just my quick ones. That's my video game news.
Sweet.
Yay.
Is that the news?
Sweet. That's the news.
That's the news, guys. Big round of applause for Michelle in the news.
I hope people are still liking this. If they don't, sorry, it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
This
we
is
hope
my
you're
outlet
liking
so
it,
that
but at
feels
the
like
end
there's
of
a
the day,
purpose.
I'm sorry. I've been talking over you a lot tonight, and I apologize. I'm going to try to get over that again.
Oh, no. Drink if JD's in his head about something that nobody else had noticed. Drink. You hammered?
I feel like at this point nobody notices because I'm so bad about it.
Bad about not interrupting?
No, yes.
Or bad? Are you good or bad if you... Anyway, I've also realized that the Michelle in the News is definitely making my mental illness come out way more pronounced than the Michelle in Review ever did. Like, this one's getting, like, real wacky with the issues going on up there. And I think it's because I'm like, listen to all the shit that I'm doing and let me justify why all of this stuff matters to me. This is the one where, like, if you want to know what I'm like as a person, listen to Michelle in the News, because I get self-conscious about this one. Drink because I got self-conscious about something that nobody else cares about. Okay.
In all legitimacy though, guys, don't binge drink for any reason. It's not healthy, Michelle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It's so rare. It's so rare, but sometimes you just have to drink too much, record a podcast, and then throw up.
Don't binge drink might be a little too severe for what I was really trying to get at, but
don't make it a habit.
Be reasonable with your alcohol.
Yeah, like a couple glasses of wine to stem to quell the anxiety and the thoughts is great, but
how big of a glass are we
because
talking?
You're anxious. I have wine glasses. I'm a dignified fucking lady.
I've seen multiple different sizes of wine glasses, though.
Well, that depends on the wine.
If
I have a white wine glass and I have a Love is Blind goblet, and they are interchangeable.
Here's my question. If you pop the cork or whatever, maybe it's a screw top, who knows? But what if you open the wine and then you just never take it out of the bottle? Is that just one glass?
I don't do that anymore.
Anymore.
But I know.
Love it.
I used to tape together straws, and I would get the what is the Mosque de Ati or whatever. It's a blue, beautiful bottle. It's a dessert wine. It is my favorite wine, and I would tape together 2 straws and just put it in the bottle, and I would sip on that at parties.
Michelle,
because I was like, it's great.
What part of any of what you know about me would ever suggest that I would know what you could give me just a little bit of information like that and I would be able to identify it as a wine?
None, but luckily other people listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
so
but how many of them are going to be able to respond right now in the moment, Michelle?
Oh, should I just assume that nobody will ever talk to me? Is this both our insecurities coming out again?
Probably.
Yeah, right.
Hey, drink again, because isn't this great podcasting? Say goodnight, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Good night, Michelle.